What is up, everybody? Sorry for the handful of minutes of delay. I was putting another coat of polyurethane on a dining table that I'm putting together, and then I was also checking on big old 10.5 pound, well, almost 11 pound, um, big old pork, no, beef roast, massive roast, huge roast on the pellet grill. So yeah, tending to those two things, and yeah, so had a busy work week that included some very exciting really frustrating things going on between more miscommunication and trying not to shove people under the bus. Yeah. Oh, the wonderful world of retail, working retail. Yeah. So it sucks when you know more and you do more, but you get paid less than others. But that's what it is. Soon enough, in a few years, I'll probably be able to get myself out of retail and into something much better. It'll be longer hours, but it'll be better work, more enjoyable work, and much better pay is the hope. Fingers crossed, right? Yeah. Who's speaking of work? Who's done their taxes? Who's filed their taxes? Who's realized they are not getting back when they thought they were getting back? Isn't that the fun and exciting news that you do not want to hear during this time of the year? Yeah, taxes, good old taxes. And when you make too much but not enough. Yep. I'm fortunate that I've never owed government tax money, but it's a real bummer when you're expecting $1 amount and it shows that you're not going to get but 2/3 of that or half of that or less. Yeah, it sucks. It definitely sucks. You know what? Let's dive into the knives, right? That's what we're here for, right? How's everybody doing? Let me before we get into that, let's highlight who all's here. El Cap, of course. What's up, brother? Yep. I've got some thoughts, some ideas from the other slab of wood that you gave, not Manufacturing, Sharif, the piece that you gave Sharif at Blade Show last year, the two pieces that you gave, and I used the one piece to make his freaking knife display boards for his new knife company. And I've got some ideas of what I'm going to use the other board for, and I think that you're gonna like it. I really do. I think you're gonna like it. It's gonna be cool. Got more cool stuff in the works up here. Yep. Let's see. Who else do we got? We got Neil. Howdy. Robert. Faithfully. Thank you, sir. How you doing today? We have a somebody who pops in the chat on rare occasions, but nonetheless, he is very recognizable thanks to his channel logo. That he's a bit of a clumsy thief there with the good old General Electric emblem. that is my father. Yes, that is the Mr. Urban Woodsman. Mr. Woodsman. That is my dad. So yeah, if you haven't looked at his channel in the really cool looking boat that he's built. You'll, if you watch the couple of videos that he has on it, you'll get the idea, get the picture of where I get my woodworking skills. He has, his kids are all grown up, and not to say that he has more time on his hands, but he's able to put a little bit more time and patience. He has, with the woodworking projects, he has more patience than I do as far as getting them done and getting them done right and putting the extra effort to the extra details. I don't always do that because I'm a little more rushed on time and interrupted an awful lot. Not that I'm saying that those are excuses, just he is a master. He is a master. And I just, this past weekend, last Sunday, I visited my brother's new place up in North Georgia. And yeah, him and his wife just finished and moved into their house that they built. They had a home built, which is a massive headache all in itself, especially when you're talking about post-COVID. So my parents, my dad here, they've had quite a bit of experience. They built 4 houses, I think, over the last 30 plus years, 30, 40 years. So they've got a lot of experience. So I think that my brother reached out to them a little bit here and there for some help with stuff, but no, my brother's very, very capable, and their house looks amazing. There are some things that are questionable from those of us who are of that building mindset. There's some things that my mom, our mom, his mom, my mom, the mom, absolutely shake our heads like, why the hell did you do that way? But it's his house. It's their first time building a house, and overall, I think they did a fantastic job. And I told him when we were visiting that I'm really proud of him, and that I'm really, really happy for him that he's made it happen. Those 2 little girls of his are running around like crazy because they don't know what to do with themselves with all of that extra space. Eventually, hopefully, that'll subside and they'll calm down a little bit. But I mean, they went from a very small place where they were staying over the last 7 years or longer to a very large, well, not a massive, but a very large home in comparison. They like quadrupled their space. So those 2 little girls of his are having a blast because they got so much room to zip here and zip there and zip everywhere. and it's driving my brother crazy. But no, they'll calm down and they love it. They love it, and that's fantastic. It's wonderful to be able to come home at the end of a 13, 14-hour day and know that you have a beautiful space that your wife and your children are enjoying, and there's some serenity in that, and then on top of that, knowing that this was your design, this is how you wanted this space to be, and how you want to use it just adds to it. So there is a lot of reward in building your own home. Just the process and the expense of it sucks. And so that's the downfall, is that I wouldn't say he's struggling, but it's not easy. It is absolutely not easy, especially with today's economy, trying to afford a home of such caliber. So I wish all the best of luck to him with that, and hope he keeps his chin up. I know he will. He's good. He's a good brother. He's a good guy. Good kid. So yeah, who else we got? We got Broke Ass Knives in here. We got El Cap in here. Robert's in here. Justin, Ohio. What's up? How you doing, man? Glad to see you. Mimo! Mimo's back in the house. Mimo, I don't know if you've grabbed a hold of some of the footage from the live where I got the nickname Pukesman, Urban Pukesman, Maddie's live. It was a Wednesday night one, at least a month ago, I think. But I'd be interested to see what you pull together as a freaking hilariously embarrassing meme from my ordeal of in trying to endure a crazy, insane shot, a full-blown shot of stupid hot sauce. Oh, I will never do that again. I learned my lesson, but I was proud of myself for going through with my promise to do the dare that I pretty much basically totally brought upon myself. I was curious. I'm always up for everything, and I was curious to see how my body would handle something that intense. And I guess what? I found out, didn't I? I found out. My body said nope. Said full rejection. Oh. Yes, Neil, thank you for it does suck, but you know it's a necessity, just like our just like all of our restaurants. I mean, does it not irritate? We don't go out that often. We try to do it about once every 4 or 5 weeks, just because it's a nice experience, and I'm for supporting some local restaurants. Just financially, you can't do it as much as others can, but it is really frustrating, and I'm sorry, I could never make it as a waiter or a bartender. I couldn't deal with the stress of the high flow of customers and the time, how quick you have to be. So I applaud the ones that are good, the ones that do it and do it pretty darn well. But it really sucks when the restaurant these days, COVID onward, short staff and not necessarily always the greatest employees. It ruins the experience. It can definitely ruin the experience, and it's a shame. It's a shame that because of our economy that it has come to that, to where dining out is not always what it used to be. It's just not, and it's a shame. But yeah, I'm not going to dwell too much more on that. But good to see you, Mimo. Good to see you. Dr. Drew Dude's in the house. What's up? Saying hey to everybody. Neil. Ed's in the house. Ed's in the house. Who's Joseph? Joseph, how you doing? Still at work? Listening? Great, fantastic. Love it. Who's Todd's not here yet. Let me check real quick. I gotta check on my shipping. Hold on, y'all. Do whatever, chat. Say your hellos. If you want to throw up pocket checks, throw up some pocket checks. You know what? Rather than pocket checks, let me know. Put out in the chat what knife you carried the most for the week. For the week since Monday or Sunday. Monday. What did who else besides me? I rotate through my knives, my latest and greatest, usually my 15 or 20 most recent knives. I like to rotate through them until I get sick of them or until I get a handful more. But I like to try to carry the same knife 2 to 3 days before I go to a different one. I like to get that experience with that knife for at least 2 to 3 days, and plenty of cutting tasks, and just get a nice feel for it and enjoy it, before I switch to another one. and the reason why I do that is because, like, every knife has different ergos, different opening methods, and different blade steels and different grinds and all that, that goes in with it. And I feel like in order to really get the full well-rounded experience of that knife, you got to spend at least 2 or 3 days with it. If you're always switching out every single day, every day a different knife, then I feel like you're robbing yourself of the chance to to really get familiar with the knife and enjoy the knife. But so y'all drop that down in the chat. What knife did you carry the most each week or this week? While I check on the shipping status. Oh, it was delivered. Sweet. Todd's package has finally arrived up in Canada. Thank you. What is this?
I don't know. It's yours.
Oh, it's Riley's socks. It's Riley's socks.
You got ones only for him?
He needed new socks. Open that up and give it to Riley. Tell him to check them out. Little man got Suburban got some new socks. He was kind of wearing holes through his winter socks, his boot socks. And so off of Amazon, we got him some new socks. But great. Todd Carr has received his package. That is awesome. Finally got to Canada. So he's got the I forget what the winnings were. It was a couple little things. Oh, I remember. Obviously, there was no knife in there. It was the one of the flashlights, and it was the guy. Where's mine at? Where'd I put it? Oh, I know where it is. It's in my bag. The Zippo lighter that with the insert that has all your little bits to it, and then there was a couple of other things. I forget what the other things were. Oh, and I turned him a bowl, made him a nice little bowl. So that's arrived. I wonder if he's by chance thrown any photos up on Instagram. I have not been on Instagram at all today. Here, I love Instagram. Check this out. Here we go. Let me share this with y'all. I'll share my Instagram. I don't have anything super private. Share screen, Instagram, share. And let me check this out. This is the Finch knife that I saw at Blade Show last year that I was super, super excited for. It is the Finch Hellfire. It's dropping at the end of the month. This is sweet. It's 7 inches overall, 3-inch blade, 154 cm steel. I am stoked for this sucker. Yeah, baby. I like this knife. I like this design. Oh, that's sick. And it's got the fuller, so you can finger flick it all day long. And the swirled. Oh, they're gonna do it in a white bone jigged handle blade. And then here's the blackout one with the black carbon fiber with the red and black. Oh, that's sick. I like it. I don't know which one I like more, the black bladed one or this one. This is pretty too. Yeah, so it's going to be the jigged bone and the carbon fiber scales and then the resin. I don't know if I like the carbon fiber or the resin scales more. I can't afford to buy both. I can't buy both. I don't have the money to get both, but Yonan said that the carbon fiber version he likes. He likes the carbon fiber. Yeah, let's definitely like that one. It's a toss-up between the carbon fiber one and the resin. The swirl It's pretty. That's gorgeous. I like it. All right. But, oh, messages. Oh, that's my daughter. My daughter sends me way too many spam. Way too many messages or stuff with cats that has to do with cats. And then my feed page gets filled up with crap about cats. Oh, it's frustrating. Z-Man. Nice picture. Pretty big pocket dump. All I get is playing cards. Those are sweet playing cards. Nice. Kitty! So many cats. There's Javon. He loves these knives. These two right here. His Eris and whatever this little fixed blade is. It's tiny. It is a tiny little fixed blade, but he loves it. Always see pictures of that on his feed. There's Forrest with the what's his name? Such a cool dude. The custom knife maker. Grumpy, or not Grumpy. Stevie said Stevie is all buddies with him and got it really helped him get the Edgy Blade Works. Is that what it is? But yeah, that's a sick knife. He does an insane job making those. Yeah. Who's not excited for Valentine's Day? See, look at all this cat shit that I have to scroll past. Another dumb stuff. Instagram's starting to get as bad as Facebook with being filled up with so much garbage that you don't care to see. Ooh. Man, Forrest Hanks. Forrest, your Hanks are all over the place here. All over the place. Well, Casey's got his Fractus out. Anybody pick up a Fractus? He's showing that off. Trying to make sure sales happen. I have a bunch of these Milwaukee pens. These Sharpie pens. They're pretty good. I know he made that one into a defense one. So it's got either steel or titanium in there as a defense marker. Yeah, the Grant Gripper. But Todd, where's? Let me see messages. No, yeah. I mean, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't post on his Instagram. But he's not in the chat yet, is he? By any chance? Is he in the chat? Is Todd here yet? No? He must be busy. Sure he is. Well, let me message him. And just make sure it says delivered, obviously. Shipping status says delivered. Hope you're enjoying everything. Much loves. There you go. We'll see if he answers today. But yeah, okay. Maybe he'll pop in the chat later on in a little bit. Maybe Mattisfaction will pop into the chat in a little bit. But all right, so obviously this guy has still not gone a day without him. and made sure that I have cut at least something. And I don't really have to try, but yeah, I cut something every day with this thing. Every day, this guy gets used to cut at least one thing, if not many, many more. So, yes, the pulse lives on in my pocket every day, and the knife that I have been enjoying this week, for most of this week, I carried the Padre. I carried my Padre. Had that guy in the pocket for at least the first half of the week. He's right here. Absolutely love the Padre. I know everybody talks about the Padre, and it's got a lot of hype to it, but I mean the hype is real. It's for real. We ain't exaggerating on it. It is one hell of a sweet knife. The ergos in the curved handle and the forward choil is just woo. It is one sweet bad boy. But the knife that I've been carrying for the better half of the second half of the week is this guy right here, this petrified fish. And I know Maddie has this knife. He's actually, I didn't buy mine until I saw Maddie show his off. What's the name of it? The petrified fish. I think I know what the name of it is. Is it the Stylus? Isn't it? No. Scholar. The Scholar. That's what it is. I'm telling you, more and more knives. Every time I get another knife, I feel like my memory of the names of all of these gets worse and worse with every couple that I add to the collection. But yeah, 154 cm steel, 3.7 inch blade, which, I mean, that's including your forward choil area. So the actual cutting edge is it don't tell you on Amazon. At least doesn't show it here listed on Amazon. Nope. It doesn't give me the blade length or the cutting edge length, but it's got to be like 3.5, right around 3.5 cutting edge. But yeah, you can get it off of Amazon right now for a whopping $69.99. So 70 bucks if you want the here, let me share so that you're seeing what I'm seeing. There you go. So the olive wood is the 70 bucks. The desert ironwood, which is the one that I have, is $74. Which the pictures on Amazon are much brighter than the thing is in reality, real life. That wood is much darker. Yeah, but yet they make the olive wood handled one look like it's darker than it really is. The olive wood is light. Like, that's what the olive wood looks like. I don't know why this picture of it makes it look so much darker of grain, but 90% of the ones that you're going to see, it's that lighter color for the olive wood. And then they've got, if wood is not your deal, I don't know why, because the wood is sick. Here's a white canvas and blank canvas for you to color whatever color you want. If you're into dyeing your G10, you can get the white G10 for 68 bucks, or yeah, it's weird how they stonewashed in white G10, or you can get the satin blade. Yeah, so they have stonewashed or satin. That's why you have the doubles. I am all for the stonewash, if you don't know that about me already. But yeah, so the Scholar, it's awesome, and it's got a very good hollow grind. a deep hollow grind. It is wicked thin behind the edge. I don't know exactly what it is behind the edge, but it is thin. It is a slicey blade. And I'm not so much for the square boxy shape of the forward choil cutout, but you know, it works. It works. It feels good, fits good, and makes choking up on the blade a doable thing. And naturally, it's a front flipper. So if you don't like front flippers, sorry, that's what it is. But you can, because of the hollow grind being as good of a hollow grind as it is, as you just saw, you can underfinger flick it pretty well, pretty darn well. Yeah. So $70 for 154 3.5 inch cutting edge hollow ground blade, and the pocket clip is milled titanium. Yeah, buddy. I like this one. I like this one a lot. It usually takes me day 2 to really get into going from liking it to loving it. Well, the other cool thing about it is it's got a crown spine and it's got that micro jimping, and it's got a good length of it too. So you know, however, whether you choke up or stay back, it gives you all that jimping for both hand placements. But yeah, rounded over spine, looks pretty, feels fantastic. Really, really good knife. So I'm actually gonna put him back in the drawer here, and you know what? For the weekend, I'm gonna start off, at least for Friday, this evening, Friday evening. I'm gonna go back to my freaking Kapara, my Spyderco Kapara that my wife got me for Christmas. Not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. And with the micarta scales on it, I love this knife. It is definitely my favorite. This is my favorite Spyderco. I really, really love this Spyderco. Yeah. Again, not the prettiest looking blade shape, but it is a full flat grind. Full as in like there's no the grind is the entire length of the blade, entire length of the width of the blade. So it is quite slicey, and it's not. I don't know what thickness is, but I'm pretty positive that it is a thinner blade stock than a Para 2 or PM2 or Para 3 or yeah, whatever ones you want to make reference to. But yeah, it's a compression lock, and I've got the Lynch Northwest deep carry clip on it, exchanged out on it, because it comes with a wire clip, and I prefer on smaller knives. I don't mind a wire clip, but when you start to get into the 3 inches or longer, I prefer a more stout clip for your larger folders. But yeah, freaking sweet micarta. And I know my camera on the computer does not do it justice. Am I able to, just out of curiosity, edit layout? Got it. No, I think you have to do, I don't think you can do it after you've started. I think you have to do it before, and I always forget. Wait, hold on. Settings. Integrated standard definition. Oh, no, I can change it. Sweet. Let me go to high definition. There we go. There we go. Let's do that. Now, does that look better for y'all? I mean, I got an auxiliary light on my... How's that look? You see better definition of the micarta on that guy now? These are RGT scales, I believe. I'm pretty sure they are. And it comes with the back spacers, the micarta as well. And yeah. And they were a bright red, and I ordered a little too much light. Let me turn. Too much light, too bright. Blind myself. There we go. But I dyed them to a darker red. But yeah, very, very happy with the scales. I like these scales. And they're contoured. They're just slightly contoured. Yeah. Great knife. Great ergos. Very, very useful blade. Hey, Ian's here. Dr. True Dude's here. What's up? How it do? It do. It do it. How you doing, Ian? Yeah, so as much as I love the Kapara, I don't carry it enough either because two reasons really, because I have so many other knives that I love to carry and love to use, but also because since this was a Christmas gift from the wife, I kind of want to keep it a little more on the pristine side of things, you know. So he I like to make sure that I bring it out and make sure I see the wife use it, see me use it on birthdays and anniversaries and other holidays. I like to bring it out at certain times of the year and make sure that she sees me use it so that she knows that I love the knife. But yeah, we'll always continue to use the pulse. Love the pulse. There's Maddie. There's Maddie. What's up, brother? How you doing? How you doing? Oh, last night in sorry, I have to lift my chair back up again. But last night in Grumpy's live, right? Wasn't it Grumpy's live last night that I was making a few jabs and teasing Maddie? He's such a good sport. It's so much fun having fun with him. I can't. Are you, Maddie, going to Blade Show Atlanta this year? Are you going to make it to Blade Show Atlanta? I really hope you can. I really hope you do. I really want to meet you in person and hang out with you for a little bit. Give you a big ass hug and stare up at you because you're like 9 inches taller than me. You're trying. If you need me to buy you tickets, I'll buy you the damn tickets. You just got to figure out where you're staying and expense of meals and whatnot. If I need to help you out, I'll buy you your tickets. It's your 6th favorite Spyderco. So what is your favorite, Mimo? Which Spyderco is your favorite? My top 3 here. I'll grab the other 2. Oops. You know what? I'll go ahead and grab all my Spydercos. All right, I got all my Spydercos. So, we'll go down history lane with them. My first Spyderco was the Para 3, and I got it with the black G10 scales, S30V steel. So, and it took about a year before I got the maybe not a year, a little less than a year before I got the deep carry clip, the Lynch Northwest clip for it. And then it took like 2 or 3 years before I got the burlap micarta scales for it. So it lived pretty much stock version for quite a while. but this was my first Spyderco, and I was just super stoked about the compression lock and experiencing the compression lock and loving the compression lock and Spidey flicking the hell out of it, which I can't seem to do right now. But yeah, so this was my first one, and the one thing that I ended up not liking, like my only negative about it, is the fact that this, because of the Spidey hole, is very wide in the pocket in this part. And so that's my only gripe about it. But that's what you get with that design and that big ass Spidey hole, right? So then my second Spyderco that I picked up was this guy, the Dragonfly 2 with the H1 steel. And I was stoked about this guy for the sake of the fact that it's got the H1 steel. And way back when, at one point in time, years and years and years ago, Blade HQ did a video. Well, they did a testing, a very scientific, about as scientific as Blade HQ has ever gotten, in doing a test experiment on your different, on a handful of different steels that are your higher rust corrosion resistant steels. And that included one of these right here. And so they buried those knives out in the middle, not necessarily exactly the middle, but they threw them out on little bobbers and marked GPS locations so that they could recover them later. But in the Great Salt Lake in Utah, so to test and prove how rust corrosion resistant these little fuckers are. So yeah, that impressed the hell out of me. And then they also took like the same knives with the same steels and took a bunch of water from that lake back to their warehouse building, Blade HQ headquarters, and in a room in beaker jars. Again, probably the most scientific that Blade HQ's ever gotten. They suspended in the water, in the salty water, and they had like 30 or 40 box fans in this room to try to, over time, dry up the water to the point where, like, it was just, these knives were just suspended over in these jars with just crusted over with salt from the Great Salt Lake. So, and sure enough, yeah, the Spyderco it blew my mind that they could make a knife that was so damn rust resistant, completely corrosion proof. So yeah, that's why I picked up this guy, and it's my beach knife. I take this guy to the beach all the time, so I can open bags of chips or cut some string, whatever I need to do. Excuse you, Riley. My 7-year-old belches louder than anybody else in my family that I know. He is able to really resound in his chest cavity his burp. I don't know if that's something to be all that proud of or not, but yeah, he can do it. He does it way better than the rest of us. All right, I believe my next Spyderco was the Smock. All right, that's enough, mister. So yes, the Smock. As soon as I saw the design of this thing, I fell in love with it. I didn't even need to put it in my hand because I knew enough about how good Spydercos were, and if the compression lock isn't awesome enough as it is, to have a button release for your compression lock when that became a thing, hell yeah, I was totally on board with that. And of course, that is absolutely my blade shape. Love that blade shape. Such a useful blade shape. So yeah, so I picked this guy up, and I had him for forever too before I ended up no, I put the wire. I got rid of the stock clip and put that clip on it pretty quickly, but it did take a while before I picked up some. I believe these. Yeah, these are micarta. They're flat micarta scales for it, but they're still micarta. And so yes, love the smock, and I really don't carry him hardly at all anymore either. Really, I couldn't tell you why. I couldn't tell you why, but it is an awesome knife. So yeah, so then I picked up that, and then the next one I grabbed was the Chaparral. And I grabbed the Chaparral because I love the fact that with Spyderco's folder, with their lockbacks or mid lockbacks, unlike so many other lockback knives, you can totally, and again, you can close it because of that forward choil, how much forward choil you have. But you can put your pointer finger right here, squeeze the back lock, and fling the blade forward, and it stops on your finger. So it's all about making sure you got your finger placed in the right spot to stop it from coming down on you, from that blade edge to come down on you, because otherwise it'll one nasty ass cut. But yeah, absolutely love the fact that you can, with Spyderco's lockbacks, completely open and close these things one-handed. Open and close one-handed without too much trouble. The smaller ones with the smaller blades, lighter blades, require more effort in the closing shake. But when you get to the next one that I picked up, this is the Stretch 2, not the XL, just the normal size Stretch 2, where they took the old Stretch 2 version, they removed that blade, that funky looking blade that they had on the original version, and put their common drop point blade. So they put this blade on it, and this particular one is in K390. I don't know if I'm going to get the camera to pick it up. There we go. Can y'all see it? K390. And if you've never experienced K390, it is unbelievably an amazing steel. Amazing steel. Was it, I believe, Sunday that I think it was in Tri-States Live on Sunday that we hit up about it, talked about it for a quick minute. But K390 and or no, it wasn't Tri-States. It was what's his face's live with Neves Knives was with him. Whose live was that? Or was it Tri-State? It wasn't Tri-State and Neves. Who was it with that had Neves on his live with him? I forget who it was earlier this week. But and then the other reason why I got the Chaparral is because of that steel as well, XHP. And supposedly XHP is RIP. Yeah, it was. Thank you, Joseph. You're right. KC's Knives Fast. That's right. It was in his live. Thank you. Now I'm mad at myself for having forgotten that it was him. But yeah, those two were fun. I don't know how y'all perceived it, but I thought it was great. That I was not expecting those two to hit it off as well as they do with each other, mainly because of the ginormous age gap. But who knew? Who knew a boomer could chat it up with a young buck like Tri-State, like Cole? But those two were awesome together. That was a really, really good live. That was a really, really good live. And I was not expecting the two of them to have such a good time, and to where the rest of us in the chat had such a good time for that live. But that was a great video. But yeah. the XHP and the K390 are for sure some of my favorite steels, in the fact that when you have full flat grinds like this and it's real thin behind the edge, and these steels and the way Spyderco does them especially, God, the edges just are so insanely sharp, and they're like that toothy grabby sharp, like they're just screaming. You touch them with your finger, and it feels like it's just screaming to cut the living crap out of everything. Like they're just so damn sharp, and they hold that kind of an edge for a long ass time. Those are two really, really good steels. Yes, the Chaparral is really thin. I mean, so yeah, so that gives you an idea of how much thinner between those two. Let me stack it up against the pair of 3. Oop. Holding up the wrong one. I put the Chaparral down. Yeah. Massive difference in the thinness of the blade stock there between the pair of 3 and the Chaparral. And then let's here's the Smock is not very thin either. He's right about the same. He's pretty much the same. I'm willing to bet that that's the same blade stock. He might be a hair thinner than the pair of 3, but it does have even though it's a short hollow grind, it is a hollow grind on the Smock. Let me pull. Well, he's in my pocket now. But let me stack up the pair of 3 against the Kapara. Surprisingly not that much thinner. Definitely thinner. And then let's take the Kapara to the Chaparral. So that gives you an idea. Still, the Chaparral is definitely thinner. Definitely a thinner blade stock. But yeah. But, full flat grinds. Yes. So, I love XHP and K390. I absolutely love K390. The Chaparral that I have is still an S30V, but Spyderco just does. I mean, they do an insanely good job with all their steels and their heat treats on their steels. It's Taiwan, made in Taiwan, so that's one of the better places that Spydercos are made. But yeah, I just love these knives. I'm not a big Spyderco fanboy, but I recognize and respect and enjoy the hell out of them because they make such amazingly functional knives, and they are so freaking reliable in the quality of the actions and the steels and the hardening of their steels. They do a fantastic job. And I love a compression lock. Oh, your boss wouldn't let me spend that much, and the wife, is that boss, and the wife, the boss. But yeah, so that is my Spyderco collection for you. The Stretch 2, I really love this for backpacking. This is my go-to knife for backpacking and camping when I am not family camping. If it's just me camping, I like to have this guy because it's just, back locks are just so damn reliable, such strong locks and simplistic in their designs, and they don't they're easy to maintain and clean and whatever. And the fact that this guy has that K390 steel and I can open and close it one-handed, it's sweet, and it's pretty lightweight for as large of a knife that it is. It's like 3.3 inches, something like that, I believe, is the blade length. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Spydercos. I do not have a shaman. And Grumpy keeps telling me all the damn time that I need to get a shaman. I don't know what it is about that knife that I just, I've held one, I've fiddled around with it, and it's just like it's good, but it's not everything that I want. See, you've got the XL. I've just got the regular large size. Not that they've made a small, but I do not have the XL. Mine's the regular size, and I think the regular here. Let me just because I'm curious. Spyderco stretch 2 in K390, so that way I make sure I get that blade shape, because I believe there may be a difference in blade length between the two different blade shapes. But on Spyderco's website, here we go. Might as well share so y'all see what I see. That's it. That's the stretch 2 in the K390. Of course, they're out of stock. Let me zoom back out to 90% technical specs. There we go. It is a 3.48, so almost a 3.5-inch blade. Edge length is 3 inches. So yeah, again, for backpacking, I wouldn't want the XL. I just don't feel like I would need the extra length, the extra size of the XL. At that point, then I'm carrying a fixed blade or a hatchet or have my saw. But yeah, let me do something else real quick. I email myself the pictures off my phone. So let me download them.
That's wasting you space.
Hush, Riley.
This way, no.
Okay. Is that mommy snoring already?
Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Oh, what is she doing? She's like,
There we go. And let me open them up. And I can share. So, Riley, you want to tell them what we did last weekend? What did we do last weekend? Why did I not have a live last weekend? Do you remember?
he will camping.
We were camping. That is right. Hold on. Let me pull these out of a compressed folder. Or, well, allow me to do that. No, I don't want it done like that. Stop it. Let's cut and then do we'll do new folder. Y'all bear with me while I do all this computer shit. Riley 7 V-Day camping. Oh, come on. There we go. Paste. Paste-a-roo, paste-a-roo, paste-a-roo. And it's going to take its sweet-ass time moving 4 photos. Well, anyways, let's get rid of the... stop sharing the screen. I see. Oh, since we didn't do a live last Friday, I can tell you the story of something that happened. I think it happened like Wednesday or Thursday last week at work. Um, if you don't know, a lot of your big retail stores have a not just a trash compactor, but a cardboard compactor. So Lowe's at least, has a cardboard compactor machine back in the receiving area. And so you take all your cardboard boxes, cut them and break them down so that they're flat, and you put them in this compactor machine, and it compacts it into this big ass cube that fits on a pallet. And after you band it with wires and make it nice and tight, and then you put it on pallets, and then send off to the recycling, so that they get burned down and made into paper, primarily newspaper. But yeah, so in the compactor, somebody we know who. I don't know the dude personally, but somebody that works one of the night shifts, and works the freight off of the trucks and onto the shelves and everywhere. They accidentally tossed into the trash compactor, or into the cardboard compactor with their cardboard boxes. They tossed their little handheld phone device that we use for scanning prices and checking things and everything else. Like, these things are pretty high tech. They can do a lot. And he tossed his. They're supposedly worth about $3,000 a piece, which is expensive for these fancy phones called Zebras. Zebra, I believe, is just the brand of the company that makes them. But yeah, he accidentally tossed his into this cardboard compactor, and despite the cardboard compactor compacting several times, it did not break these phones. It just caused it to work its way down to the back corner, the far back corner. And so, I shit you not, we literally had to. I have to hold up my phone because I put photos on my phone. But we had to take out all the cardboard out of this compactor machine. And here's a photo I took of the handful of guys that were doing it. But yeah, there's the cardboard compactor machine, and it was full. It was full. So we had to pull out every bit of cardboard out of there, because that device had sunk all the way to the far back corner. It was almost all the way at the bottom. And so we had to take out all that cardboard to get to that phone, and then put all that cardboard back into the compactor. So that took probably a good hour and a half, somewhere around that. And there was like 5 of us working on it. But yeah, that sucked. But we found the Zebra phone, and sure enough, it was still usable, still in good use. Yeah, I know some people just call them scanners, but the ones that we have, they do a whole. I mean, you can make phone calls on them, answer calls on them. You can go into inventory and check all information on every single item that the store sells, that the company sells. You can do check in things, check out things, the whole shipment process. You can fulfill people's orders, their online orders on it. There's so much that you can place orders for customers on the thing. I can do all of my safety stuff and my little testing stuff. Take my little quizzes and things that I have to do as an employee on it. There's so much that these things can do. That's why they cost so damn much. But yeah, it was all the way in the back corner of this compactor, and we spent at least an hour and a half getting to it. It was just a mess. It was just a whole big mess. I just know a good bit about nearly everything. Ian, I am just I my brain's still like a sponge, and I don't have a photographic memory, but it's damn near close. It is damn near close to a photographic memory. I can pick things up and retain it pretty well. Pretty darn well. Would you quit pounding on the door, dog?
That's your dog.
I know it's my dog. But yeah, here we go. I've got my photos up now. I can share photos with y'all from this past weekend. Presente. No, I don't want a video file. Share screen. There we are. There. All right. So there's that was at night. That was, I believe, Friday night. There's a little suburban there in the middle in front of the fire ring. There's my older son who was I don't know if he was just cold or he looks miserable. But at the moment, he had himself all covered up. It got pretty cold. We were like 36, 37 degrees at night. So, but yeah, that was our little campsite. There's the wood that I chopped up, and that is I want to do a wrap around, make a collar on the part of the handle that's real close to the axe head. I want to make a protective collar right there. So I haven't done that yet, but I did take the little torch to it and do the fun flame job that I did to it. But that is the Harbor Freight like 4.5 pound head axe, I believe. I believe it's 4.5 pounds, something like that. But yeah, so it's actually a pretty darn good axe. It's actually, especially for the money. I mean, who knew from Harbor Freight, right? There's the tent with these wonderful ducks that you know we're just so accustomed to people right there next to the pond. And they were totally comfortable with coming up into the campsite right up against near our tent there with us just standing outside, you know. Damn ducks. 2 of the white ones, not, I think maybe the white one in the back there, but there was another white one. This is only half of the ducks. There was probably real close to a dozen ducks, but 2 of them were they were loud as hell, and they were quacking and doing their quacks. It kind of sounded like they were laughing, like yeah, they were terrible, annoying. Like they got on my nerves quick. I did not appreciate how loud they were. But besides that, it's a great campground, and we had a really good time. Pretty darn flat, grassy area to set up the tent. That's my Gazelle. It's a T4 Hub Plus, so it's a hub tent where all the sides and the tops have center points that you pull out. All the poles are internal. They stay internal with the tent, so there's no trying to feed poles through slots or clip 500 clips onto the poles. The poles stay inside the tent, and they just each section, each side panel pops out from pulling in the center. And so it's for being a 14 feet long by 8 foot wide tent, and it's 2 rooms. There's 2 rooms. There's a divider between the 2 rooms. It's a really nice family size tent with a pretty decent rain fly. Usually these cabin style tents don't have good rain flies at all. This particular one, I like the rain fly. The rain fly actually comes out away from the walls of the tent far enough to provide adequate protection from the elements. I've seen so many of these square boxy cabin style tents with crummy rain flies, and these poor families just get them and all their stuff soaking wet if it rains for more than 40 minutes while they're camping. So we did not have any rain while we were staying there, so that is the only reason why I set up the tarps underneath the way that I did, so that there was kind of like a shoe mat area on the front. If we were expecting rain, I would have overlapped the tarps to the point where that would have not been, there would have been no tarp exposed out on the front like that, because if the rain hits that, guess where that rainwater is going to go? If it's not on a slope enough to where it runs off because of gravity, runs off away from the tent, guess where some of that water is going to go? It's going to go up underneath the tent, and it's going to sit between the bottom of the tent and the top of the tarp. And so eventually that water seeps through the bottom of the tarp, and you and your stuff get wet, and that is no bueno. So if you don't know that about putting tarps underneath your tents, you can't have any of it sticking out like that, because if it rains, that's what's going to happen. That water's going to seep underneath and go in between, and you and your stuff are going to get wet. I've seen it happen over and over and over and over again. But yeah, so we had a good weekend. We where's it at? My souvenir that I grabbed. We were in Dahlonega, Georgia, which is a old gold mining town. It's an old gold mining town in Georgia. Shh. So my souvenir is this geode. It's got a little glass plate on the bottom, so it sits flat on the shelf. But it's got the little miner dude panning for gold. Real cool. It's a fun little trinket. So I picked up this guy. This was my little souvenir. Of course, we have some little vials with some gold nuggets in it. It's, about $4 or $5 worth of gold in it. So yeah, the boys wanted that. What did Zoe get for her souvenir from last weekend? I don't remember either. What did that girl get? I don't remember what she got. She got something. But yeah, so it was fun. It was and we also got some coffee. We got some good ground coffee from the general store. Love those general stores for the sake of the fact that you get fresh ground coffee from with lots of delicious flavors. And we went to 2 wineries. We did wine tastings at 2 wineries. And sadly, we were not really impressed with, the wineries were gorgeous. The seating areas, the tasting areas that they had there, and the wining and dining areas that they had were fantastic. They were beautiful. Everybody was having a blast. But the wines were not, their sweet selections of their sweeter wines, which is what we like, were not all that sweet, and we just weren't impressed enough by them to want to buy a bottle or two. And they were higher priced bottles of wine. So, we like what we like, and we don't like to pay a whole lot for what we like. So we prefer wine bottles that are under $20 in that $10 to $20 price range. And pretty much all of those bottles at those wineries were $30 to $45. So yeah, Dwayne, it is a nice area. It's a nice little town. It's not really all that big. It's kind of nestled in the mountains, really close to the where the Appalachian Trail starts. For all the backpackers that hike the Appalachian Trail, it's not very far. It's probably only about 15 minutes of a drive and about 10 minutes of hiking, because there is a trail that goes right into the town of Dahlonega from where the Appalachian Trail starts. And that's a shorter distance than if you were to drive around. So yeah, it's a nice town. It's a nice town. It's got a nice central square with all the little cool shops and antique shops and trinket shops and a little bit of souvenirs, some good eats, lots of good small restaurants, local restaurants with some really good food. We ate at a barbecue joint that was 10 times better than the one that we ate at in Atlanta for Blade Show last year. That place was awful. If you haven't heard that enough, I think Maddie and Stevie and everybody, we all talk about how, oh gosh, how pathetic the barbecue was at that place that we had dinner that night. It was not good. I don't know who picked that, but they better not be allowed to pick the restaurants this year. They got their vote revoked. I don't know who decided that, or if it was 2 or 3 people who said, "Hey, let's go here." They didn't know. I didn't know. I had never, even though I'm from Metro Atlanta, I had never eaten at that place. Never knew of that place, and I'm glad, because they were not very good. Which, like we all said, it was packed. That barbecue place there in Atlanta was packed. There's so many people. It's hard to get in a couple of tables for all of us that met up that night. And it was crazy. And the pricing was what you would expect for a big city, a restaurant in a big city. But it was not, the food quality was not reflective to the prices. It was just not good. Nobody's going to eat there ever again, as far as our community goes. So, yeah, maybe I should pick, because I tend to be pretty good at picking. I don't like to brag about that, but I don't think I've ever chosen a restaurant that was bad.
You're a liar.
When did I choose a restaurant that was bad?
We've been together 10 years.
You see, the wife don't remember. She's talking shit. Mimo has got a joke. She said, "I love you." I asked, "Is that you or the wine talking?" She replied, "That's me talking to the wine." I've heard that one. That's a good one. I like that one. There's a couple places in Fort Worth, Texas, that are all very, very good. Amanda, you don't remember, what was the place that we ate that had the live music, that had the large outdoor seating?
In Texas?
Yeah, in Texas. You don't happen to remember the name of it?
It was that barbecue.
Yeah, it was a barbecue place.
Was it Mavericks?
I don't remember the name of it either, but yeah, there's a bunch of places in Dallas, Fort Worth that have some really good barbecue.
It was near the hotel.
Yeah, it was near the hotel, which also happened to be really close to, literally like right around the corner from House of Blades, right there in Texas. House of Blades is a knife store out there, and
I found the place with the music.
yeah, the wife picked that place, but yeah, they had really good food, and they had a nice large outdoor seating area, and they had live music, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. We enjoy that place out in Texas. I don't remember the name of it though. Let me search nearby. Barbecue.
We were staying at Lake Worth.
Yeah. Mm. Was it Spring Creek Barbecue?
No.
No? That doesn't sound familiar. Was it downtown or was it out?
It was out a little bit, I think.
Out a little bit. There really isn't.
I'm not feeding you right now.
No, it wasn't that place. Was it Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue?
Maybe, I don't remember.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that place. But it looks cool.
Look at my timeline.
Lone Star? No. Shady Oak?
It
No.
was in July. What year was that?
Was it last year or the year before?
That was the year before.
Yeah, I think it was the year before. It's gonna bother us till we figure it out. But here, let me. I'll share with y'all. Y'all look at this. This is how many. This is how many barbecue places there are there in Fort Worth. A whole bunch of them. Whole bunch of them.
Yeah, there's so much.
You could party hop from one to the other to the other to the other all night long. That's where House of Blades is, the knife store, and we stayed at the Comfort Suites. Yeah, that's where we stayed. We stayed right there at the Comfort Suites at Lake Worth. Literally right around the corner from the House of Blades, which was pretty sweet. You actually went and checked into the hotel and left me at the blade store.
Yeah, I did.
At the knife store.
I did. I left
because I didn't want to leave. I was still looking at stuff.
I was like, I'm gonna go.
And we were in there, and she looked up where the hotel was. She's like, "Oh shoot, the hotel's right around the corner. I'm gonna go check in. You can stay here."
Yeah,
because she was bored. She didn't want to be there any longer. Oh, you didn't have to even come pick me up. I could have just walked over to the hotel.
Yeah, it's true. Places, it don't go that far back. Oh, it don't go that far back. It only keeps it for 18 months.
I don't think it was this place. Panther City Barbecue?
No.
No? They have a nice outdoor seating area. You sure that wasn't it?
No, I would remember.
You would remember. David's Barbecue, Bodacious Barbecue, JB's Smokehouse Barbecue.
Doesn't matter. Continue with your live. I don't think it was in Lake Worth.
Well, I zoomed out to Fort Worth and Dallas area. Wasn't Smokeaholics? No, that's a small place. Yeah, I don't remember what the name of it was. But yeah. Anyways, I think I'm going to make a list of all the good places to eat at right around Blade Show there in Atlanta, in Marietta area. I'm going to make a list of restaurants, and I'm just going to put it out on Instagram for everybody to be like, hey, these are some of the best places. If you're looking for great places to eat, that's not your typical chain restaurant around Blade Show, this is where you should go. These are the places to go eat. But yeah, I'm going to do that so that everybody has a good idea of where they could go eat. But all right. Let's see. One other thing I wanted to do. Let's check out White Mountain Knives. That's their coming soon. Let's go to new. Check this sucker out. That's tempting. Look at the honeycomb on the handle there. That's pretty slick. 20 CV. Does Steedman or Stedman, do they do a good job with their heat treat? Oh, that's CTS
Tony, what time is the
204P.
dance over?
2.8 inch blade. For some reason, that looked bigger to me. To me, that looks like a bigger knife than a 2.8 inch blade. Like, I was thinking that was closer to a 3.3 to 3.5 blade. But that is pretty cool. I do like that. I don't like the billboarding there on the lock bar. Why do they got to do that? I don't know. It's an interesting knife. $270. Let's see here. You know, Kershaw, I'm not a big Kershaw guy, but, you know, I think they might be stepping up their game this year. They're starting to show some promising models, which is interesting. Here's the Finch Flint. That's out now. There's that red and black resin handle in all its glory. They really do. Their resin handles look amazing in person. But I don't like when the blade's open. I don't like the flipper tab being here like this, the way that it is. That's what the only thing I don't like about this knife. Otherwise, that's a badass blade shape. Really like that blade shape. I just don't like the way that flipper tab sticks out when it's open. But otherwise, that's a pretty sick knife. Yeah. 3-inch blade. 7.2 overall. The the one that they finally got, the Micro Jimbo. There you go. If you want one, it's available on White Mountain Knives. If you want the Micro Jimbo. Anybody have one of these bridge ports? Because these bridge ports look nice. Look at that micro jimping around the edge like that. Nice rounded back end handle. The ergos on this, I mean, because it's not any crazy design, so the ergo's got to be very comfortable. Very, very comfortable.
Not Hazel. No.
Even the pocket clips got
How much till you're done?
micro milling. Well, about 10 minutes or so. We'll call it a day for my live here. But yeah, I like this. $245. It's a 3.3 inch blade, 7.5 overall. 20 CV. It is hollow grind. Made in China. I like it. I just don't know if I like it enough to throw out $245 to it. I've gotten really, really, like, I'm trying to hold off for something that just screams awesome to me. And this doesn't quite do that. It's just another really, really nice knife. But if any of y'all like it, it's there. Get one. And this company, another Chinese company, Yangi.
Hey, can you put this mac and cheese in the oven when it preheats?
Oh, that's what we're doing for a side. It's mac and cheese.
Yeah, it's the
Oven mac and cheese.
It's the mac and cheese you're only give us for honey bake.
Oh, Riley. Where's Riley?
I don't know.
Crap. I'll get him later.
Yes, Father.
Yes, father. In the deep freezer, on top of the mac and cheese box, are cookies. Can you bring them to me?
The Girl Scout cookies.
They're not Girl Scout cookies. They're the Walmart knockoff of the Girl Scout cookies. Just go get them.
You gonna compare them?
Oh, I know that the Girl Scout ones are better, but for the price difference,
Oh, I already bought Girl Scout cookies.
I know you did, but for the price S90V on that, I wonder how well they did on that S. That's a very pokey, stabby blade. They got the new Icefall tactile turn pins. If you're a pin guy, Tri-State was talking about these. Of course he was. So were a couple other people. I was watching some other videos, other YouTubers' views on things. Six Leaf has this guy, which is very reminiscent. I don't know if it's so much as to say that they're copying, but it's very reminiscent to your Hinderer X18s. Yes, no, maybe. Tell me I'm wrong, please. Tell me I'm wrong. But look at that milling on the handle. That's some slick milling right there. Yeah, give me my cookies. You want one? Cookies. Walmart cookies. They're the ones that are chocolate with the peanut butter in the middle. They're a little cold right now. Because they were in the deep freezer. But yeah, so check out the blade shape on this one. What does that remind you of? Isn't that kind of like a Deca? Like a Hogue Deca? I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts on those? Let me go back to see what y'all. It looks. Yes, the tag-along ripoffs. Exactly. Oh, hey, Dopey. You're driving. It's Friday evening, so you heading to the strip club already? Huh? do they allow dwarfs at strip clubs? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Knock off tag along?
Yeah, you want one?
Yes, please. Thank you.
See, kids like to knock off tag along. Work. You're going to work. I showed Dopey. I showed my wife. I showed the Mrs. Urban your logo that you had done for your anodizing stuff. Yeah, brilliant. She loved it too. She thought it was genius. You're a genius. You don't look like one, but you are. We know you are. We love you, Dopey. Yankee, but it wasn't a knife. All right, Ian. Nice. 130 bucks for 20 CV. Have you used it much? How's the edge holding up? Because that's the only thing that I get skeptical with some of these not so well established brands yet that put out these higher end looking knives with their more premium blade steels. That's always the big question is, are you getting a good heat treated blade, or are they basically throwing away a good blade steel because they didn't do good heat treat? Like that's always what makes me a little hesitant. Neil, you were in Fort Worth for 16 years, man? Wow. Because when we were out there in July. And there were days where it was 104 to 112 degrees. That's rough. That is brutal. And I saw dudes out on their motorcycles on the highways in that heat, wearing protective gear. And I'm just like, shit, that would not be me. My ass would be still in the car with the AC blasting like it was, like we were. Could not imagine being out in 107 degree dry heat. Oh, that's got to be brutal. Hey, TK, what up? All right, so what other interesting ones were there that came out this week? Again, I like the idea of those Bridgeports. I need to look up and see what everybody thinks about Bridgeport. Are they worth the $245? Is that nice of a knife? And I gotta argue with myself on whether or not I want to add that to my collection, if I want to spend that money on it or not. Oh, this guy. If the flipper wasn't so pokey, so pronounced, I would have been really tempted to get this guy. I like everything else about it. I just don't like the flipper tab being so pokey. But that's a sick looking knife. I like it. I really like this Max Ace. The Corvus 3. Oh, the other thing I like M390. I just have a lot of knives in M390 at this point. I've got at least 7 or 8 knives. At least 7 or 8 of my higher end knives with M390 that have titanium scales and either a sheep's fur Warncliffe blade shape, and it's just I have a lot of that. At least I feel like I have a lot of that, and so I'm kind of shying away from that these days because I don't want more of that. I want different. And these fugly two sons. I'm sorry, but I don't like that green. And that's carbon fiber. Isn't it? No, that's titanium. How the fuck do you do? Somebody tell me how you do that to titanium. How does that happen? That's some wicked sorcery right there. That is nuts. Look, they even did it to the clip. Shit. Dopey. You need to get on that right now. Figure out how to do that, man. Damn. Designed by that dude. Mazwan Mokhtar. That's a sweet design. And that's just insane. Like, I don't want to know, but yet I want to know. How the hell do you do that to a piece of titanium? That's got to be like paint, no? Can you anodize like that? That's nuts. Not my color green, though. I don't like that green. They're calling it crystallized gold titanium handle. And then they fudge it all up by throwing D2 steel for the blade. They go all that length to make that handle look the way that it looks. Titanium handle. And then they throw D2. That one's got M390, but those got D2 for $150. This is clean. If I wasn't sick of seeing M390 on everything, I'd be tempted to get this Tucson. I don't own a Tucson. Don't have one. Mainly because I don't like seeing Tucson written big and bold on the freaking grind of the blade. That irritates me. I don't know why, it just does. But this is a sick knife. I like this knife. And it's a big boy. It's 3.5-inch blade. Nice fuller. Kind of a harpoony. That's not, to me, that's not a harpoon. But it's just got a nice swoop, a thumb swoop, or whatever you want to call it. Some speed holes right there. Stonewashed titanium handle. They call it satin wash. Okay. It's a satin wash. They stone washed it between satin sheets. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it, but it looks awesome and I want it. Here's this. This looks pretty sweet. They do the colored titanium with the micarta inlays. And then carbon fiber around the pivot head. Wow. You get the trifecta of handle materials on this guy. $235. Woo-wee. Forward choil, thumb hole deployment. Sick. What's the blade length? 3.15. Not bad. Not bad at all. That's pretty nice. And you don't get the big ass Tucson billboarding. I'm liking it. You just got in around the pivot collar. And that's okay. That's okay. That is a very interesting. I think the titanium being colored like that is a little too much with having both the microfiber and the carbon fiber and the micarta microfiber. Shut up. Yeah, I think that's a little too much. If they had just done like a stonewash titanium with the other two, I would have been, or reversed it. How sweet would have been if they did more like fat carbon on the handle inlay there, and then did micarta around the pivot. That's what I would have done. That would have been my taste. And then like a dark stone washed titanium handle. Yes, that's what I would have done. But whatever, I don't get to make those decisions. Well, all right. I think that's gonna be it for me. It's 5:30. Let's get the fuck out of here. Y'all do something else with your Friday instead of watching me. I don't know who all's still here. Yeah, gold crystallized titanium. It is strange. It is strange. I need I kind of feel like I need to know how it's done, but I don't need to know how it's done. So so Dopey, let me know. Well, I'm with Neil. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good one. I might pop into Javon's live. I don't know what the wife has and what all we're gonna do this evening as a family. We might go do something, Mr. Burpaholic. Or we might have like put a movie on one of the TVs for everybody to watch, or bust out the party mix, or
we can go to a bar.
or we go to the bowling alley. Oh, the options are endless, right? Yeah. All right. Well,
Some fun.
I doubt that I will stay up late enough to catch the night show with Manisfaction, the late night. I very rarely am able to keep my eyes open that long for that one, but as much as I want to. We've got a busy weekend this weekend ahead of us too. I'm always busy. I'm constantly busy. It never ends. It never ends. I do have to go check on the big ass Boston butt I've got on the smoker again. Got to make sure the pellets are good, and that's continues going for another 45 minutes or so, and see how my coffee table is doing. So yeah. Y'all peace out. Love you. Take care. Go check out some new stuff on White Mountain Knives. Some of the other websites. Don't buy from Blade HQ because they suck these days. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Y'all have a good one. Take care. I'm out of here.